In the capital, Tehran, the body of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who died on February 28 during the first joint airstrikes by Israel and the United States, now rests in the Imam Khomeini Grand Mosque. Since the morning of July 2, the coffin, covered by the Iranian flag, has been lying in state in a vast hall where religious authorities, government officials, and foreign dignitaries pay their respects. What is being prepared for the coming days is not just a funeral, but a series of mass ceremonies that Iranian authorities describe as the funeral of the century. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and Major General Rezaei were seen very emotional at the funeral of the supreme religious leader. The body will remain on public display on Saturday and Sunday, and on Monday, a massive procession will go through the central streets of Tehran, passing along Damavand, Engelab, and Azad avenues, the famous avenues, with thousands of people expected along the route. The capital's subway will operate 24 hours a day and free of charge. The authorities emphasize that the event will serve as a demonstration of unity and strength. The massive turnout is internally presented as a silent referendum for the regime. Any military action during this period would be interpreted not only as aggression, but also as a violation of a moment of national mourning. While Iran organizes these ceremonies, diplomatic and military tensions remain high. Last month, Washington and Tehran signed a memorandum of understanding that provides for the permanent end of hostilities and prohibits the resumption of operations. The document is binding for the United States, Iran, and their allies. Israel did not participate in the negotiations, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made it clear that the country does not consider itself part of the agreement. American sources indicated that even during the talks, there was concern about the possibility of Israel launching attacks against Iranian targets linked to the negotiators. The United States then issued specific warnings about this possibility, seeking to prevent any unilateral action from jeopardizing the fragile understanding that had been reached. In this scenario of delicate negotiations, the president of the Iranian parliament and main negotiator on Iran's side, Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf, made direct statements in a televised interview. He stated that the blood of Ali Khamenei, the slain supreme leader, would be avenged by the liberation of Jerusalem. According to him, the true way to avenge Imam Martin is the liberation of Jerusalem. He added that the recent agreement shows that America has been defeated and that Iran should build a deeper strategic partnership with China. In the same statement, Ghalibaf was categorical about the nuclear program. President Ghalibaf, recent event shows strong China partnership. Parliament Ghalibaf, that Iran partnership, Iranian parliament, that America-Iran has a more strategic partnership with the United Nations Atomic Energy Agency, would have access to the nuclear sites hit by American and Israeli bombings. To get full access to this video and watch many other exclusive ones that are not available to the public, become an exclusive member of the channel. It costs only $dir per month. According to President Ghalibaf, the Iranian parliament approved the legislation backed by a council resolution that the agreement gives the president's government access to these damaged sites. Partnership. The Iranian parliament approved the legislation backed by a Supreme National Security Council resolution, which explicitly prohibits any access to these damaged sites. The permitted access remains restricted only to the Bushehr plant and the Tehran research reactor. Therefore, the sad Thomas of this limit is out of the question. The main enrichment complexes currently existing in Iran are Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. They suffered significant damage in the attacks of February and March this year. Without independent inspections at these sites, the international community loses the ability to verify the actual state of the highly enriched uranium stocks at 60% purity and the remaining infrastructure. This increases the capacity of the Iranian program precisely at a time when negotiations are seeking to stabilize the region. The rhetoric about invading, dominating, and liberating Jerusalem in turn is not new among the Iranian leadership, but it takes on new context after the death of Ali Khamenei. By explicitly linking revenge for the loss of the supreme leader to the liberation of the city, Ghalibaf reinforces the regime's ideological commitment to the Palestinian cause and its staunch opposition to Israel. In operational terms, this signals that Iran does not intend to give up its proxy network or its ability to project power beyond its borders, even as it tries to consolidate the ceasefire through a memorandum with the United States. The combination of these elements creates a scenario of controlled tension. On one hand, Iran demonstrates internal strength through a funeral of historic proportions and reaffirms clear red lines regarding its nuclear program. And on the other hand, the Memorandum of Understanding represents an attempt to formally end the 4-month conflict, but it faces Israeli resistance and mutual distrust, especially from Iran. Any violation of the terms of the agreement, whether by the Americans, Israelis, or Iranians, could lead to the resumption of proportional measures, as warned by Ghalibaf. What we are seeing now is a transitional phase. The Iranian regime under new leadership is using collective mourning to project unity and determination. At the same time, it maintains a tough stance on issues considered existential, such as nuclear transparency and its position against Israel. But for Benjamin Netanyahu and his allies, these statements reinforce the need for constant vigilance over the Iranian nuclear program and the security capabilities of its regional allies. To watch the full video of this analysis, become one of our channel members for only 7 Rs and 99, our $7.99.
9 centavos ao mês.
Now I want to know your opinion. How do you assess the impact of these Iranian positions on the current regional scenario? Your perspective helps to further enrich our discussion. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos.